Shalom. Kol Holo Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Raha HaKadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. My name's Barad Dabar, coming to you from the GMS campus, Indianapolis. And to all those listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom, especially to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Today, I just want to go over some scriptures. Just touch point on when the Lord is with him, the things that actually happen when the Lord is actually dealing with you. And first and foremost, myself included, am building, as far as in the work of the Lord and trusting that Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, continuously trusting that he got us. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 1. It says, "My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall be added unto thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy heart, write them upon the tables, Salakia. Bind them about thy neck, so keep them close. Write them upon the table of thine heart. So shall thy find favor and good understanding in the sight of the Most High, Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, and man." So that's one thing that comes along with a man of the Lord. When the Lord is dealing with you, you'll find favor in the sight of the Most High and man. Now, we do get chastised, as the scriptures do tell us in verse 11, "My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth." So all these men of the Lord were also corrected by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. They've gone through some form of affliction in their life, but overall, they maintain their integrity and their trust in Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. But I just want to read a few scriptures pertaining to some ancient righteous men of old and the things that were said about them. And hopefully, again, this will be edifying, and I'll make it fairly quick. This is the book of, we'll start with the book of 1 Samuel. The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 3, verse 19. It says, 3 verse 19. Salaki. One more over. It says, "And Samuel grew." Well, let's read 18. "And Samuel told him every whit," which he was talking to Eli, to wit, and hid nothing from him. And he said, "It is the Lord. Let him do what seemeth him good." So it was the Lord calling Samuel. Okay. And Samuel went. Okay. Then it says, "Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and he did let none of his words fall to the ground." So Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, when he chose through Samuel, and these are just different elements that Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai would do with those he is with. So when he spoke, of course, he spoke the words of the Heavenly Father, and everything that he spoke had fruit. It multiplied, or it had a purpose. Okay, so that's of course, we say the prophets, the prophets of old. Those of old are the same. We're in the same stead at this very last days, as it says, the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets. Well, I'm going to jump to 2 Kings chapter 18 verse 7, and this is dealing with Hezekiah. 1 Kings chapter 18 verse 7, and it reads, 1 Kings 18 verse I think I just 2 Kings, Salakia. 2 Kings, and I'm moving fairly quick because I got to get back. 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 7. And it reads, and this is dealing with Hezekiah when you read in the first verse of 18, but just getting to the point. It says, and the Lord was with him. Again, this is Hezekiah. And the Lord was with him, and he prospered whithersoever he went forth. And he rebelled against the king of Assyria and served him not. So, Hezekiah himself was, of course, a man of the Lord. And as you can see, the Lord was with him, and he prospered whithersoever he went. Okay. Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 39, verse 2, and we may read a few more scriptures through there, but we're going to start at verse 2. Genesis 39, verse 2, and it reads, 39, verse 2. It says, and the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. Verse 4. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had to put into his hand, he put into his hand, Salaki. So that's Joseph. You know, he a man of the Lord, and everything in which he did prospered. Let's jump to 2 Samuel. Back to Samuel. 2 Samuel, chapter 5, and I got verse 12. So we're gonna see what we got here. Chapter 5. Verse 12. Verse 12. Nope, that's not one that I'm looking for. Nope. Well, actually, I got to go to the right chapter. Okay, 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 12. Okay, and it says, and David perceived that the Lord had established him king over Israel, that he had exalted his kingdom for his people Israel's sake. So, of course, David, was the man of the Lord, and he was exalted as king. But here we're going to jump to 1 Samuel, and I know we're jumping around, but we're just dealing with when the Lord is with these men. 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 14. Chapter 18, starting at verse 14. It says, actually we read 13. Therefore Saul removed him from him and made him the captain over 1,000. He's talking about Saul making David captain over 1,000. And he went out and came in before the people. And David behaved himself wisely in all his ways, and the Lord was with him. Okay, so David behaved wisely in all his ways, and the Lord was with him. Let's continue. Wherefore, when Saul saw that he behaved himself very wisely, he was afraid of him. So, even those of your enemies, because Saul, of course, turned and started going after David. But we said, we read in the scriptures, and the scriptures also say that he will even make your enemies at peace with thee. All right. Let me read a little bit further, and we're going to end after this. So this verse 16, he says, but Israel and Judah loved David because he went out and came in before them. All right. And So there's several things that goes on as far as the men of the Lord and the Lord being with them, making their ways to prosper, having protection and guidance in all they do. So with that, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Raha HaKadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. And to next time, all those listening and learning, I'd like to say to you, Shalom. And next time, we'll probably go into a few more things pertaining to that. But again, Shalom.